There we go. Okay.
Hi, YouTube. Hi, podcasters.
Hi, podcaster.
Oh, nice.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey.
Tell them what's going on tonight.
We're not live, but we're here.
No, I meant like, what are you doing with your family tonight? Why are we pre-recording?
Oh my God. Well, I'm taking the kids on ice. Much respect to ice in Nashville. So my ticket's at 6:30. So if anyone's in the Nashville area, you can listen to the show on your phone and come and meet me down, and we can take a picture in front of Rudolph in full ice.
There you go.
Ice is so
Well, I
fun.
should say ice carved into Rudolph, not
That's
Rudolph
true.
on ice.
Yeah, no, that would be weird.
It'd be weird.
Yeah,
Would be.
yeah. Rudolph on ice.
Yeah.
So we're not live tonight. But we will be back live again tomorrow.
Well, you will.
Oh, I will be live tomorrow.
Yeah. For a
CFN
CFN show.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about the team. We're going to talk about the Raiders.
We should do that.
Hold tight. We should do
Oh my
that.
gosh, let's do that.
Yeah.
We really don't even have to do this intro part.
Yeah, but I like it.
You do?
I like it.
Are you a fan of banter?
I'm a banter fan, man.
You're a banter
Big time.
fan.
Michelle, how do you feel about banter?
I think I'm indifferent on banter.
Indifferent on banter?
Yeah,
She doesn't like
yeah,
that shit.
yeah.
What about
I saw
banter?
the look on her eye.
Yeah, and if you're indifferent, it's okay. I mean,
Yeah,
we don't always have to agree with each
Banter's
other.
fun, yeah.
Yeah. What about bantering
take
about banter? Which is what
Oh,
we're doing.
now I'll do that. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
No, that's
Big
That's
fan of
fine.
that.
I'll cross that line.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's
absolutely.
banter. I will do that. Yes. Yeah.
Oh man.
Is Ron in here yet? Nice.
Probably.
What's up, chat?
Ron, Rico, Bial,
Kill Jadis.
Kill Jadis is
the
in
Mangus
there.
boys,
Yep.
Miss Ebony,
No, Miss Ebony
Yeah.
for sure should be
Yeah.
in
Tyrone Graves.
there.
Tyrone.
PSP Raider Ed's probably in there.
Yep.
All right, let's go ahead and kick off this episode number 274 of Raiders Fan Radio.
Jackpot, baby. Raiders Fan Radio.
Oakland, LA, Oakland, Vegas, Raider Nation, wherever, forever. You got your old Uncle Mosh and Raiders Fan Radio from Murf's Man Cave, taking a lighter journey into the dark side. Sit back, put your feet up, pop a top, and enjoy the ride. Here we go!
Look left, look right, look top, a leaping top. Let's go!
We miss you, we love you, and we'll see you in the Hall of Fame.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Way up the middle, intercepted Filipiano at the 50, high running down. Oakland football, and I think Oakland victory.
The Oakland Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play. Well, I love this team. I think this team can win. I think this team can win.
You are listening live to Raiders Fan Radio, hosted by Murf, Uncle Mosh, and Swag Jeff. Take it away, guys.
Why? Thank you, Brett Musburger. What is up, Raider Nation? Your buddy Murph back once again for what we trust will be a fantastic episode of Raiders Fan Radio, episode number 274 of Raiders Fan Radio, coming to you from Murph's Fan Cave. We are going to celebrate another Raider W around here. Let's go. Or not, let's go. I don't know. I'm conflicted now because I always say it, but I need to
Yeah,
retire.
you like it.
You
You
do.
like it.
I do,
It
but
rolls off
it's
the tongue.
But
Come
it's
on.
everywhere, and
Yeah,
it's
it
so
is. It
overused.
is. It
But
is.
I don't know. But I gotta work on me. I gotta take the time and put the work in.
Until you give me a better phrase, we got to keep screaming.
gotta
Let's
keep
go.
screaming,
So you
let's
got to
go?
come up. You
Okay,
come up with
all right.
something, and I'll
Yep.
I'll roll with it. You just tell me what.
Woo!
Yeah,
Okay,
but-
Only for Ric Flair. Okay.
yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's fine.
This is fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, you
I
do
said
you.
better. I said better.
Bet- okay, there we go.
Yeah.
But appreciate everybody that's joining us on the.
Oh yeah.
Appreciate everybody that's joining us tonight on the podcast, live on the YouTube. We got some stuff going on tonight, but I will be back tomorrow. So I'll see you tomorrow on our normal time, 4 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, for a See a Fan show. And so I'll be live and you will be live in the chat. And we're going to listen to your voicemails and emails, which were awesome this week. But while we are able to tonight, we're going to talk about the Raiders. So we're just going to jump into the normal, like what we would do in the first half of the show. Just going to do that here tonight. And so thank you for those of you that are in the YouTubes. Check us out at youtube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. And those of you that are on the audio podcast, well, no, though you're not on the audio podcast, if you're on the video and you want to hear the audio, you can go to Raiders Fan Radio on any podcast service. Just search our name and we will pop up there. But I certainly don't do this show alone. And so let's go ahead and jump right into it. We got a lot to get to tonight. And welcome in my best friend and yours, the man that adorns the Western Annex of the Murf's Fan Cave desk. He is Swag Jeff.
Styling and profiling.
Man, it's good to be here.
Yeah, it is.
3 in a row, man.
Dude.
Who called that?
Woo!
Well, we all did
We all did.
5 weeks ago.
Oh, we did.
Yeah. The 3 in a row showed up a little late.
Just a little late. Just a little late. You
Better
know
late
what?
than never.
That's true.
Hey, I told
Amen
you,
to
man.
that.
I told you, man. Herbert ain't the guy.
Now that
He ain't the guy.
Oh,
You know, I did have a little PTSD.
overrated.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. But now I did have a little PTSD from last year where, you know, we had the big lead in the fourth.
Remember.
And, you know, and then he started
yeah,
clicking
yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit. But, you know, but at the end of the day, it was all barbecue chicken.
Hey, nicely done. Nicely done.
So we don't do this show alone.
Jeff. Heck no.
No, absolutely not. So to my right, the southern annex of the western annex of the Murf Fan Cave desk, my best friend and yours, Michelle Sway.
Hey, welcome back,
Oh,
Michelle.
thank you. Listen, I'm glad to be here for the celebration of a win. Man.
Yes.
Oh, I know. We missed
Yeah.
celebrating with you
Yeah,
last week.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So this will be fun to get to tonight, man.
That's right.
Oh, can't wait.
Yeah,
Can't wait.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, so did you tell everyone about Just Blog Baby and all that stuff?
No, tell him, Jeff.
Well, we are a fan-sided podcast sponsored by Just Blog Baby, so much respect to those folks. All the money that we raise and all the cool things that we got going on from different sponsors, much respect to TeePublic. I want to say that and hit it right at the top.
Yeah, good call.
So
Good call.
TeePublic, our girl Christina, always coming through in the clutch for us. It's holiday time, it's Christmas time, so get you that shirt, man. If you're on the audio, Murf is wearing the Raiders Fan Radio Christmas shirt. And so so get in the mix with that. It's only till the end of the year, man. And they're
Limited.
They're still running sales, bro.
Yeah, they are.
That Black Friday stuff, Cyber Monday, it's all still going on.
Like
I think
$13 for a t-shirt.
$13 for
Yeah.
a t-shirt, man. Absolutely. And a hoodie is like 30.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I mean, like, that's crazy cheap, man. So get in the mix, help, because it's all going to the One Nation Foundation. So I'm rocking the One Nation Foundation lid. Next week, man, in 8 days, we will be in Las Vegas.
Yes.
In
Let's
10
go.
days.
Let's do
In
it.
10 days, we will be at the Bolitnikoff event presenting a check to the Bolitnikovs for $10,000 on your behalf, Raider
So
Nation.
amazing.
So thank you so much. We couldn't do that if you weren't buying the merch, doing the donations, all the things that we do. So thank you very, very much. Much respect to each and every one of you. But here at the top of the show,
Well, can I add a caveat?
would you please?
Yes, even if you can't donate or support the show monetarily
Yes.
by merch sales and all that stuff, just do us a favor, hit the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, smash the bell, stab the links, do all that stuff the kids say. Just help support the show because
Tell a friend.
Tell
That's
a
right.
friend because
Yeah.
any advertising opportunities that we get through Just Blog Baby and Fansided, 100% of that money that we get goes into the One Nation Foundation. So absolutely, we thank you for all your support in any fashion that you can give it to us here at Raiders Fan Radio. And we are looking to set off another record year for next year. We had a little board meeting in the One Nation Foundation last week, our first official one.
Yep.
That was pretty good. We got some really, really fun plans coming up for
Yep.
this week.
Yeah,
Can't wait to
man.
share it all with you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, hey, so each and every week I take a significant thing within Raider Nation related back to the episode number. So this week is 274. T-Hom hooked it up again. I think he's hoping that we're going to do the show to like we're 90 years old because he's got episodes to like, I don't know, like 830 or something like that.
Oh, I'm middle aged, man. We might need.
I know. Well, my kids are going to host it.
There you go. Yeah.
About
Be
50
the
years
Charlie
or
and
something
Ollie
like
show.
that.
There you
Exactly.
go.
Exactly. So
Vinny will be writing the music for it instead of Sonny and the whole thing.
Yeah, we'll
there
be
you
remote
go.
from the nursing homes, like every once in a while.
And you'll still be dropping F-bombs.
You damn right.
Well, no, you'll have Devin in here doing it for you.
That's right.
Yeah.
There you go. Absolutely. Hey, so 274, and it's controversial. It's not shitty like the Carson Palmer one. You know what I mean? Much respect to T-Hom, not to Carson Palmer, but respect to T-Hom for finding that, and respect for him for making it right last week.
Oh,
he did. He corrected course.
He did the right thing. He did the right thing. It's what needed to be done. It's what needed to be done. So we're going to be talking about another controversial guy, Jerry Rice. So Jerry Rice, man. So he, some people love him, some people hate him. If you're a Raider fan, and but he's probably one of the greatest receivers of all time. After folks like Hunter Renfrow, Matt Collins, Devante Adams.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's all the main guys, and then you got Jerry.
Sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, but he's one of the best wide receivers of all time. But now remember though, the Niners kind of said see you bye to him, and he was still in his prime.
Yeah, he was like 45, but he was still in his prime.
He was still in his prime, man, for sure. So he left the Niners, came here, joined up with Tim Brown. So that's arguably one of the best.
Right behind Fred Biletnikoff and Cliff Branch.
Sure,
Exactly.
right.
Exactly.
Clearly.
Yeah, I love it. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So we're gonna go back to week 2 in 2004.
Okay.
So Jerry Rice caught a pass in his 274 consecutive games. So much respect. Of course, all those games were in silver and black, but he set that record in a Raider
270 of them were in a Niner uniform. But
Exactly. Yeah.
Good job, T-Hom.
Yeah,
nice,
there you go.
Tim.
But hey, you know what? I don't do a segment alone. I don't have the only little sidebar segment on this show.
No, you don't.
Because I got one that's 100 times better coming up to you right now. So my best friend and yours, in the southern annex of the western annex, I bring to you For Whom Michelle Tolls.
Okay, I just want to virtually slap around the commentators of the game. So I wasn't sure if I was listening to professional commentators or if I was listening to Justin Herbert's parents, because every time they spoke, they were making excuses for him, and they just kept talking about how he didn't have this and he didn't have that, and how spectacular it was when he did this, like regular football moves that all quarterbacks are in the NFL. They almost all can do that. But he does something, and they're like, "Oh, baby, you're so good," and I just want to slap them around virtually for a little bit, because they were even talking about like how far he's come and how good he is, like everything was. And then it was the Chargers need to do this if they want to win. Like, what about what
they were,
the Raiders need? They were rooting for him. Yes. I was like, what is the? Yeah, I almost had to turn it down half the time because I was like, okay. Justin Herbert's mom has taken over the cast. Like, it was so bad.
And I'd like to add to that for just a second, because if Greg Gumbel makes another prediction before a kick, whatever, I'm going to lose my mind. Daniel Carlson better watch out, because every time he says something like that, Carlson misses a kick.
Every
time.
So,
like, hopefully Greg Gumbel doesn't follow him around like in his real life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Seriously, yeah. I noticed that too. He said it, and it was as soon as he said it, I thought, uh-oh. And then miss. That's a bummer.
Jackass.
But yeah. F them.
Woo! Woo! Hey, Raider Nation! You got your old Uncle Mosh here with an updated contact info. So sit up, zip up, shut up, and pay attention. You can call us at 909-345-3346, or as Murf would say it, 909-345-3346. How about emailing me? You want to email me? Email me at show@RaidersFanRadio.com. Or what about reaching out to us on some of that social media stuff Swaggy likes? Try Facebook at Raiders Fan Radio Podcast. The Twit at Twitter at Raiders Fan Radio. Insta something. Instagram at Raiders Fan Radio. The ticky-ticky-tocky-tock. TikTok at Raiders Fan Radio. Or what about the Twitch? Some of you out there twitching. Anyway, Twitch at Raiders Fan Radio. Or if you don't like that, go to the YouTube. America, go to the YouTube. YouTube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. Oh my God, if that wasn't enough, go to your podcast provider and search Raiders Fan Radio. Holy crap, that was a lot.
Good.
Oh,
Shit.
that was good. That was good.
Oh, we are in mid-season 4.
Holy cow.
Yeah, we are.
Raiders aren't the only one winning around
Damn
here.
right.
Okay. Every time we did that, the following Sunday, we win.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, we better take care of the dang
Oh,
Rams.
better.
We
man.
will.
Yeah.
Now we
Yeah,
will.
yeah,
Now we will.
Now we will. Now we will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, and two, by the way, I do want to mention something about that. That was a great for whom Michelle told.
Oh, totally.
I think the reason that happens is because the Chargers are consistently the most overhyped team in the offseason every year. It's been going on since we've been alive. And now they're starting to overhype their quarterback, just like they used to overhype Phillip Rivers. And they don't want to be wrong.
They don't want to be wrong.
They don't want to be wrong, so they make it sound like it's more than what it is. He looked terrible.
Yeah.
He looked terrible all day, as did the rest of that team. And aside from that, unfortunately, that one pass to Keenan Allen that got him Meek.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
aside from that, like, that was the only play where it was like,
And it was in the fourth quarter, man.
That's
They
right,
were
yeah.
down two
Two scores.
touchdowns.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, he's gonna pad his stats because our defensive back or the secondary and all that, they're keeping everything in front of him.
Yep.
So they're gonna let Herbert get those little 7-8 yard, whatever's all day long because they don't want to get burned deep. So yeah, of course, the fourth quarter he was like, oh, what a great fourth quarter he's had. Get the hell out of
so
here.
gross.
Absolutely. And then our guy does it, and then you know what I mean?
Right.
And then, like, oh, well,
Right.
yeah, okay. But anyways, so good stuff there for sure. I appreciate everybody again that's joining us in the chat room tonight. I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget, we'll see you live for Raiders Fan Radio. 275 will be coming to you.
Are we gonna call that 275?
We'll call it 275, yeah. Selfie's a selfie, man.
Okay.
It's still a
True.
podcast.
Still a
Everybody
podcast.
else is going to be there. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you got to shoot me your 275.
I will.
Or T-Homs anyways.
I will.
So much respect to all of you that are in the chat room. We appreciate you very, very much for this show, this pre-recorded version of the show, and then we'll see you again tomorrow night. All right, so speaking of respect, we don't do props, we don't do shout-outs, nothing wrong with those things, but around here, we like to give a little bit of respect.
Yeah.
That's right.
Murf, Swaggy J,
Michelle.
Nation. It's time for a little respect.
Perfect.
Respect ain't bought, it ain't sold, it ain't demanded, it ain't negotiated, it's earned. And without blowing smoke or giving shameless plugs, we want to say salute and much respect to the following folks.
Three in a row, man. All right, look at your thumb, man. Happy day I do, bro. Man, my thumb looks like it got hit with a hammer like on the old cartoons, and it's all big and thawed and stuff.
bro.
Weird.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, all right.
We should do a show just like this one time.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, man.
Oh my gosh.
That's so funny.
Oh, goodness.
Respect a roadcaster for making that
I
effect
know.
on this.
Respect.
Our
Big respect.
favorite button ever.
Yeah.
Like, just that's the best button. Yeah, thank you. Good fine folks at Roadcaster. All right, so here at the top of the show, we'd like to give a little bit of respect, and we've got a few to get to tonight. First, I want to give respect to Safern and Angie and Jennifer at the Gold Strike
Yes.
Casino down in Tunica, Mississippi. Lovely Valerie and I went down to go see the Commodores this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And
How was that?
Oh, it was
Yeah.
great. It was killer. It was killer.
bet.
Yeah, it was great. They brought it. Walter Orange's twin sons are now in the band, and one of them's a lead singer, and the other one plays guitar. And so it's like,
How
so you kind of
cool.
got like a little bit of a legacy going on,
Yeah.
along with some of the original members, and so it was really, really cool. So appreciate the folks down at Gold Strike, because since we were in town, we wanted to watch the game, obviously, and then I do the post-game show on Silver and Black today. So I reached out to Safern, who's their executive director of marketing there, and told her what we had going on, or whatever. So she set us up with Angie, and who kind of organized our time there, and then Jennifer was their manager that was kind of on duty that day, and she took awesome care of us, rolled out the red carpet. We had an amazing place to broadcast from. So if those of you that watch the Silver and Black Today show, they hooked up. They gave us access to all the audio equipment. Like it was really, really
How
cool.
cool.
That's
It was really cool, and it's a great place. So definitely, if you find yourself in that neck of the woods of West Tennessee, Northern Mississippi, anywhere, go check out Gold Strike. Go to the BetMGM Sportsbook there. They got like 50 giant TVs. The food is fantastic. Like, like the catfish and shrimp and all that kind of stuff. Like that's a cool thing about being in Mississippi. Like they have
Yeah.
that kind of food is
Yeah.
fantastic. It's so good. So anyway, so check them out, support them, and we might even be back again.
I feel like a RFR road trip is in order.
It's a quick shot down the
100%.
road, man.
Yeah.
100% we
Yeah.
need to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great. And they said hit us up anytime. Like
nice.
so,
Wow.
so
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Very
yeah,
cool.
yeah, it was great. So thank you to those ladies and the great care that you took of me and Valerie while we were down there on our trip. We appreciate that. All right, next up, but I know we're going to get into it more later when we get into the game talk. But let's just go ahead right now and let's give respect to two areas of this Raider football team that were under the highest levels of scrutiny this year. We're getting dogged by everybody, including the three people that are adorning these microphones right now. And that is Chandler Jones. Really, you could say the rest of the defensive line that's not named Max Crosby.
Right.
And the offensive line, the two lines of this football team.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bless, thank you.
Yeah.
Sheesh, much respect, and much respect to the coaching staff, Carmen Brasillo, Patrick Graham, for getting everything together, getting this thing figured out. And it was a couple games later than we would have liked, but at least we're going in the right direction.
Totally.
And so it's
absolutely.
like so
No
refreshing to have
kidding,
some
man.
positivity to talk about.
Yeah.
We were down bad, guys.
bad.
We were down
We were.
bad. Remember after that Titans game?
Listen, yeah. We were down
I mean,
bad.
we were tears in our beers, big or Screwball whiskey,
Yeah,
anyways.
sure,
But
yeah.
shout out Screwball.
Yeah,
but like we were down bad.
Yeah.
It was like being
for
at a
good
funeral.
reason. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
it was-
and it felt like that was going to be the trajectory of the season. And so I think we all had settled in like, okay, this was it.
You were here on the end, and it was a great point that you were talking about the day that Derek got emotional
Oh, yeah.
at the mic. You were like, he's literally
grieving
mourning and
the end. I thought it felt like he was grieving the end of his era and the culture that had been established, or that he felt like. That's what it felt like to me. Just watching that was heart-wrenching, because it did feel like something was ending, but it wasn't.
It
It
wasn't.
was like
Yeah.
a phoenix rebirth.
Amen. And
Yeah.
and it all comes down to, I think, Jeff, these two areas or these two position
Yes.
groups
Yeah.
has because Devante and Derek haven't changed.
Right.
Hunter and Waller are still out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Yes.
the reason that we're winning is because of these two things, because Josh is still doing Josh things.
Right.
So
right.
this is what's
And
changed.
Josh is doing Josh things because of that O-line.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, respect to Josh Jacobs. Obviously, he's the best running back in all of football right now.
Amen.
And he's
Balling
doing
out.
unbelievable things, but he doesn't do those things if the offensive linemen
right.
aren't in the position that they need to be
Yeah.
in to make those blocks. So, it's really, Derek doing that thing, getting all emotional and stuff like that. We haven't lost since that happened, and that's amazing.
Right.
So cool. But it was cool because it's really poetic of all those things coming together. We finally see Chandler Jones doing what we thought he was going to do all year long. The offensive line, they've bought in and they're busting their ass, and they had the support of their coach. All their coaches going, oh, you know what? We're not gonna make any changes. We like who we have. All this stuff. These guys are busting their ass, and now they're seeing the rewards of all of their hard work as well.
Right.
So now you got all these pieces that have come together, especially like those two you said, Chandler Jones and the offensive line, who are our weak points this year.
Exactly.
So now we have our weak links making differences.
Right.
So now it makes all of our other people like Derek, like Devante, like Josh Jacobs, like Max Crosby and stuff like that. Did you see how fired up Max Crosby was the first sack that Chandler Jones got?
Oh.
I mean, like
It's
both
like he did
hands
it.
in the air. It was just like he ripped the monkey off of his back or whatever. Like he was so fired up, and like that's the sideline that you want. You want dudes hyping up other dudes, man. You want these guys to be together. And so now it's so cool to see that, Derek was very upset because, the culture in the locker room last year was fantastic. And it didn't start good. But now he sees that it's good and everything's coming together and, it's reminding me more and more of last year now.
Honestly, I would say that him crying and putting his heart out there was the catalyst for everybody to kind of, and everybody shit on him for exposing himself like that. Like, when you see somebody pouring their emotions out, it makes you want to do something for that, And I think that's what collectively pulled. Everyone was like, "Dang, that dude really loves this place. Like, let's play for him. Let's play for each other. And I think that was the catalyst for what we're seeing now. Obviously they're learning the system more and they're getting more comfortable with each other, all of those things. But I think that was a huge catalyst in people going, okay, let's buy in.
I can get behind a dude like that.
Let's do this. Yeah.
Well, body language change. And like, you said, like, yes, the familiar at the playbook and all those things. Absolutely. But I think the finer point there though, is that like, body language doesn't like that. That is a completely different thing. That could be their day one.
Right.
You could not know a damn thing of what's going on and still be positive,
Absolutely.
carry yourself in a positive way and encourage your teammates and all that. Then, no more of the jogging off the field. And we see dudes sprinting off the field. Like there's just a different energy
the
about
sideline's different.
Yeah.
Like when they pan to the sideline, they're pumping each other up, slapping each other on the back. Like it's different. It feels different.
Feels different, absolutely.
Yeah.
So much respect to Chandler Jones, the rest of the interior, the defensive line, and of course the offensive line, man. Way to get after it, guys, and we're proud as heck of you, and can't wait to see where this thing finishes out. Because when you're playing that well at those positions, and we still don't have Waller and Renfro back.
Right.
Holy cow.
Who knows where this thing could go, man? Like I said to Scott the other day on Silver and Black Today, like, I'm not getting all totally crazy, but I am a delusional Raider fan.
For sure.
And you know what? Teams have won 10 in a row before. Like, or you know what I mean? Or teams have won consistently.
It could happen.
We got to win 5 games. You know what I mean? We got to win 5 games. Like, that's it from here out. Like,
well, and look at the remaining schedule.
It's doable.
It's so doable,
Yeah.
man. Like Thursday, Raiders by 50. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to own them. And then,
and it'll be a home game.
And it's going to be, it'll totally be a home game. You got the Niners, who Garoppolo just went down, and they're working out Baker Mayfield or something like that.
Gosh,
so
bring on Baker.
Win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you got the Steelers, who their Steeler fans are all hyped up. Oh, it's the immaculate reception anniversary,
geez.
whatever. Raiders by 50. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's Christmas Eve, yeah?
It's Christmas. Christmas come early for
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
because Raider Nation's going to walk out there
That's right.
with a dub as well. So, you look at the remaining schedule and you look at that Chiefs game and go, okay, that's the one. That's where we're going to see, like, what's this team made of? Can we finish this epic run like we did last year? Hello, 2021,
That's right.
2022. Let's see what we can do. Let's, pull our bootstraps up. Let's go.
You know what I'd love to see? And this would be, I don't know. You kind of want to have you want to beat the Chiefs at their best, right?
Right.
But there's a big part of me that hopes that they win out,
Yeah.
and so they're resting
I don't give a
everybody.
shit how we do it.
Thank
as
you.
long as we beat
So
them.
if they're resting everybody, and they're, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
take Mahomes out, take Kelsey out, all right, like we'll take
You can
Chiefs
only
at half
play
strength.
who you can play. That's
Hey,
it.
you know what I mean? Like, absolutely. And it would be really funny. Well, so they would, I don't know if they would get the bye or not, but anyways, but there would be a chance that like we could even like meet them again, like play like the next week at Arrowhead when they are full strength. Like that could, if we did make that playoff run. Anyways, there's a lot of cool stories and timelines and things that could happen there. And so we'll definitely look forward to seeing that. And Raiders, like, let's go.
Yep.
Let's go.
Let's
Even though
go.
I've retired that phrase. All right, next. So next up, let's give some respect to your best friend.
Yeah.
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 AJ Cole.
We wear the same number, and now we both hit the H and high.
Yeah, you do.
High. Yeah.
And wait till you hear.
Oh no.
All right, where did I do with it? Oh no! Don't tell me it's not in here.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. Here we go. Do you get a little musical interlude there? It's not here. It's gone. Oh man. Oh shoot. Okay. Anyways, what I had for you was I had an announcement from AJ Cole.
Okay.
It was a great little video there that I pulled the audio from. But anyways, you can find it. Just go to the Raiders YouTube channel or go look for him on Twitter. But it's AJ Cole announcing, and it's funny because he starts off the video by going, "Hi, I'm AJ Cole."
Of course.
Yeah, right. But he's announcing his nomination by the Raiders as the Raider nominee for the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah. So much
respect AJ Cole, man.
big respect.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we were proud of AJ, and we met AJ a few years ago at the Blitnikoff Foundation dinner. So be sure it would be cool to get a chance to meet him again and congratulate him on his nomination. He does in the video you see he does a lot of great work with like food banks. He's doing work with like Children's Hospital. Like he's going to schools. He's reading to kids. Like the guy is. I didn't realize how much charitable work.
Yeah, I didn't know
that because he doesn't put that stuff on his social media. Like you see Darren Waller stuff. You see DC4 Kids. You see those kinds of things. You never see that stuff from AJ Cole. It's clear from the video. It's a all week thing for him. Like every time he gets a day off, he's doing, and it showed him like the video goes back, like you could see that he's got short hair in a lot of the videos. So he's been doing it for years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So very, very cool there. And so much respect to AJ
Absolutely.
Cole.
Hey, so I have a thing of respect that I want to give.
Oh, okay.
And and it's one that we would love to do every single week. I want to give respect to Cliff Branch.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, do you talk about Jacoby Ford?
Who? No.
Okay.
No, I'm giving respect to Cliff Branch.
Okay, give respect, and then I'm going to tag your story with something really fun that happened.
Okay, all right, well, cool. Yeah, well, I want to give respect to Cliff Branch because of the presentation at the stadium.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, his wife gets the ring, all that stuff. That's so cool. We talked about that last week.
His sister.
His sister.
His sister.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. His sister, yeah. So, like, it's the first time that a family member has received a ring from the Hall of Fame. That's so cool. It's unbelievable. And all of his buddies were there.
Yeah.
So Fred was there, of course, and tons and tons of alumni. Mark even brought his new lady with him. Whatever.
I did hear that they were related, so I don't know if that's his. I don't know
Oh,
if
is
that's
it?
true,
Oh,
but
is
I
it?
did hear that they were in some way related. I don't know how true that is, but I don't know if that was his lady or
Okay, well, whoever it was.
Just saying, sometimes don't hurt to have
She
money.
was in fact a lady. That's that. Well, from the appearance of it, she was in fact a lady. So
Yes, she
there's
was.
no doubt.
Yes, she was.
So there was that. Yeah.
So respect to Cliff Branch.
Respect to Cliff Branch. Okay,
Yeah.
so when they did that presentation,
Okay.
of the ring, he walked out, or when I keep saying he, Cliff Branch was honored in this ceremony. They former wide receiver for the Raiders, also known for his speed, Jacoby Ford.
Yeah.
Put on a full Cliff Branch uniform,
No way.
pads, helmet, the whole 9 yards. I'm getting chills.
Yeah.
All whole 9 yards. Came out of the tunnel with Freddie B and Jim Plunkett.
No
Yeah,
way.
Dude, I'm not no kid. Like I'm getting
Holy
chicken skin.
cow.
And freaking they were throwing passes to him.
Yeah.
And they did this demonstration where so Freddie throws him the ball and it hits Cliff in the chest. And this is and the narrator's going on saying that like at the time when Cliff Branch was questionable with his pass catching, and the advice he got from Freddie B was don't catch it with your body, catch it with your hands. And then the next pass came in and Jacoby Ford snatches it with his hands. And so they were like demonstrating what happened in this conversation.
It's
Dude,
really cool.
No
it was
way. Is that
freaking
where
awesome.
can you find that?
It's on their
on
socials.
YouTube or
Yeah, I
whatever?
watched it on Twitter or something.
Okay,
yeah.
all right, cool. Yeah, I
You
need
too,
to find
Michelle?
that.
I
Did you
did
see
on
it?
Twitter. Yeah, that's where I saw
That
it.
is so
Yeah,
cool.
it was really cool. And
Wow.
yeah, it was chills watching it. Yeah. And even just talking about it, I was like, man, that was so cool.
That
to
was
see.
cool. That was a
Yeah.
great moment. That's one thing about the Raiders, man. Like, despite our record and all that, they are so amazing at not only honoring the past, but the way that they present our Raider legends, and even this one posthumously, to do that, to reach out to Jacoby for like that, just I mean, you can't get cooler than that, man. I thought it was awesome.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Hi.
You had to do it.
Hi, this is AJ Cole from the Las Vegas Raiders,
Hi.
and you're listening to Murf, Mosh, and Swag Jeff on Raiders Fan Radio. Just win, baby.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, we love you, AJ Cole. All right, next up here, let's. Hey, I got an idea.
Hey,
let's talk about the Raiders.
Let's do that.
Novel.
So before we do that, though, we want to appreciate everybody that's in the chat room tonight. We
Yes.
appreciate you joining us live. We are not live. We are pre-recorded, but I will see you tomorrow. Be back here on the channel, please, and we will see you for a See a Fan show when we get into the all of your best emails and voicemails of the week. There's more of you and less of us is a good thing. So we appreciate you, chat room, and everybody that is in there tonight. All right, so let's get into what this game was awesome. I had a good long conversation with Scott, as always, post game. So before we get into some of what the team is talking about, Swaggo, let's go ahead and start with you. Give me some of your early thoughts coming out of this game. I know we already kind of hit on a little bit, but like, give me kind of like your 30,000 foot view of how this felt to you coming out.
Oh, well, I mean, it felt unbelievable. It felt great to, anytime you can beat a division rival, and I freaking hate the Chargers.
Yeah.
I hate them with every fiber of my being. I hate them. You know what I mean? But I mean, I loved everything I saw, really. Besides the pick six that Derek threw and the fumble by Josh Jacobs early in the game, it's when that happened, I'm like, oh shit, here we go. But the resiliency. The resiliency of them to continue handing the ball off to Josh, hey man, shake that off. To, DC again, once again, we see him struggle early and come back. And so what a beautiful, amazing thing that was. That was so good. And the secondary and the linebacker, like everybody played so well. We gave respect to Chandler Jones in the offensive line, but like, dude, the secondary and the
holding
linebacker,
up.
they're holding up big time, man. And
Nate Hobbs was in the game.
Yeah, he was.
Right?
Yeah, he was.
Immediately showed up and was like,
showed up.
Wow.
Absolutely. Harmon with the punch and
The
all
peanut
that stuff.
punch, man. Harmon and then did you guys see the one? There was the one play I was telling Valerie, I'm like, it almost looks like if you didn't know what was going on, you'd think Merrick was taking a swipe at the guy.
Oh,
because he just straight up is like punching it, like
Yep.
like as he's falling back, like
Yep.
punching it. I was like, holy cow,
Yeah.
like you're throwing haymakers out there.
I got one thing I want to say about Trayvon Merrick. So Trayvon Merrick, I've seen so much improvement over the last month with him. He gets better every single week, but now he's got a guy like Deron Harmon. So I think that Merrick has gotten so much better since Abram left.
Oh.
You know what?
Since Abram left,
That's a
I don't,
great
I
call
don't,
out.
I don't know if that was like. Say that
I
again.
said, did everyone get better since he left? 'Cause-
Yeah, the whole team did, right? The whole team
That's a
did.
great call
But
out.
when you're, you got your free safety and your strong safety. Those are your two guys. So they're practicing together all the time. They're doing all the things together. And I think that was hurting Merrick. Because
Probably because Merrick couldn't trust Abram in certain coverages, so he had to feel like he had
he
to
had to do it
probably
all.
maybe out of position or whatnot. Where Harmon, he knows he's going to be in the right spot.
Harmon's wearing the green dot. He's doing the things. He's a freaking leader, man. I love that guy.
Yeah.
He's probably, besides Devante, he's my favorite free agency acquisition. I'm like solid. So solid. To see those two working together and to see Merrick's, not only his play, but his confidence level, you can see it on the field. Like he's jumping around and he's hooting and hollering and all that stuff. Like we haven't seen that from him. So much respect to Trayvon Merrick.
Great call outs. Great call outs.
Yeah. I worked Sunday, and before every game, the morning of, Lamont always asks me, how are you feeling? How are we feeling about the game? Because he knows that I've got a lot to say. So I told him, I was like,
that's why we have you on the podcast. Yeah.
The last two games were won in overtime, and I told him, I said, I think this game we win with no overtime. Like I really feel like those were clicking parts, and we've now like settled it. And then I setting up for an event at a church, so I was iffy on whether I was going to pull the game up, but I did pull it up because I just
because you want to be dropping F-bombs there in the pews.
Literally, yeah. So the pick six, that was rough, and then the fumble, Jacob's fumble, and I said, okay, I've got to turn this off. So I turned it off. So, and I just rewatched it, and everything happened that I really felt like was going to happen. And but yeah, there in the beginning, it's nice watching it, knowing how it ended. But I did check in every once in a while, but I didn't watch because I knew what was going to happen with me. So, but yeah, like seeing everything kind of start to click together. The beginnings are always so weird to me because it seems like we can never start strong. So I think that's coming, but I was really pleased with I mean, it was really nice. It was a really fun game to watch.
It was a fun game to watch, absolutely. And I think that's what Raider football is becoming now. Is it like, and that, you know, and I know people can be critical of the team, and obviously it didn't start the way that we wanted it to. But as a fan, like what I root for now is like, I just want something good to watch.
Yes.
Give me something fun to watch. Give me something that's compelling. Let it show positivity and fight and, you know what I mean, and want to and care and passion and all those things.
Yes.
As long as those things are represented on the field, then I listen, I don't like losing. This isn't me being like being like, oh, it doesn't matter if we win or lose, because it freaking does. I'm not saying that by any means. But what I am saying is that like, you know, it makes the losing a little more palatable when you know the team gives a shit. You know, but when it's the bad body language, the poor execution, the pre-snap penalty, you see shit like that and then you lose, it's like, well, what the hell do I have to feel good about? But when you see them playing together and you see them making adjustments and you see that those things, that's a whole different story. So it certainly makes it a little more.
Well, and I want to give you respect too. So we respecting all these, and obviously Devante and Josh Jacobs. I mean, they stole the entire show.
Yes.
But one thing, and you said it on Silver and Black today, and I freaking loved it. You called out Josh McDaniels not only for his play call, but his game management. So that play, and what was it, in the fourth quarter, late in the fourth quarter?
Yeah.
The guys, one of our defensive guys is running off the field, and we're about to get a too many men penalty.
Tillery.
And he freaking calls timeout. Like, genius.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Like, dude, this is the best managed game we've seen him call maybe in his career. Like, that was so freaking good, dude.
Absolutely. And much respect to Josh, man, because you're right. And it's not only too, like, when he manages the clock well. It's like you see that, like, you know, and I know he's gotten a lot of shit from a lot of fans about the whole Patriot thing and all that kind of stuff. But like, that's what the hoodie does. Like, he manages a game better than anybody. Maybe, I mean, Vrabes is up there, and Vrabes has actually out hoodied the hoodie before, so you know he's good at that stuff. But that's what McDaniels is doing now too. Like, he knows how to manage a freaking football game, and it's like the attentiveness to detail is phenomenal. And you would like to think that every head coach at that level can do it, but we've seen plenty, Matt Rule, anybody, you know, I mean, we've seen plenty of coaches come into the league, like, I mean, that can't do that, or you know what I mean? And so anyway, so yeah, thanks, Jeff, for tagging that. And we, you know, we were all questionable on McDaniels there for a minute, but I think it's starting to, we can at least see it coming together a little
cautiously optimistic.
Yes, right. Yeah, I think it's nice to have like a coach that is a little more in his thoughts, because like when you're a hot-headed cussing this and not that and the other, you're not paying attention to those little things. You might miss that, and then you've blown it, you know. So I think that's just something we're not used to, something we're gonna have to get used to.
That's true too.
You know?
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and check in with what the team's got to say, as Jeff mentioned there. I mean, the two jump out. If there's like so these two new kids that have showed up, Josh Jacobs and Devante Adams. But yeah, let's go ahead and check in with the guys that absolutely just, you know, set Allegiant Stadium on fire on Sunday, and start off by hearing from Devante Adams. This is on the field postgame.
Raiders wide receiver Devante Adams, 8 catches, 177 yards, 2 touchdowns. When you and Derek Carr are in sync, it's poetry in motion. But talk about the chemistry you two have in clutch moments.
Well, we got a lot of experience together. So what you're seeing now is just a culmination of a lot of hard work that we put in. And, you know, you and I have talked multiple times at this point. So, you know, it's a work in progress, and we're still pushing to, you know, be better every week. But, you know, starting to get a little bit of a rhythm. So we just got to keep that going.
Justin Herbert is going to have nightmares about your defensive front seven, 14 quarterback hits, 5 sacks. And Chandler Jones especially was everywhere. How disruptive were they today?
I mean, they carried us early, man. Like, that's what we need out of our defense. You know, we're not doing so great on offense. We got to play complementary football. And, you know, that's the type of football we got to play moving forward if we want to, you know, ultimately end up where we want to be.
3 wins in a row now. This is a team that shattered the Chargers' playoff hopes last year, did it again. You have a short week on deck with the Rams on Thursday. Why should people not sleep on this Raiders team to close out this season?
Well, we're not trying to get too far ahead of ourselves. Obviously, we put ourselves in a little bit of a hole, but we're doing the right thing now. Appreciate you, bro. we put ourselves in a little bit of a hole, but we on to the right thing now. We just got to keep this momentum going and see where we end up.
Congrats on the win.
Thank you, appreciate it.
All right, so Michelle, I don't want to take anything away from Devante by any means with his performance, but something that the part of that interview that jumped out at me was when he said, "This is when Derek and I are in a rhythm, this is what the results are." And so, do you remember? And isn't it silly now to think back to all the people that said Devante Adams' production when leaving Green Bay and coming to the Raiders is going to drop off? And by the way, he's having a career year.
Absolutely. Listen, there's never a time, too, that I don't want to hear this dude speak. Like, he just knows so much about football in all the aspects, not just his job on the field or whatever. And it's laughable that they thought that he was going to decline. Like, he is an epic athlete. Like, I don't care, honestly, where you put him or who you put him with, he is going to succeed. Like, and I shit on all those people for that thought that. Like, I never thought that. I knew as soon as he was coming, I was like, it's going to be good.
It's going to be good. And you're talking about, I mean, it's his best friend. Like, how could they not have, an increase in production?
Yeah.
The other thing that jumped out to me to that interview, and for those of you just have to trust me on this, the ones on the audio podcast, Jeff, and this is you're an expert in this area.
Okay.
Devante Adams, post game, on the field, not a drop of sweat on the guy.
Yeah.
Not a single. He just
Why
played.
am I an expert on this?
Well, I'll tell you in a second. He just played a football game in which it's part of his job to get tackled, and the guy looks clean,
so fresh,
so fresh and so clean. Shout out Outcast. Dude, like he looks, I mean, like going to the Bolitnikoff Foundation.
Yeah.
Crisp, clean, like, I'm like, does this guy get like any kind of like fatigue ever? Or, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Well, and so he did another interview, and I went to the bathroom. I didn't hear that post game. But so he did an interview on the Raider post game show. On their official.
Okay. No,
official
that's
thing.
not what we played.
Okay,
so you're
the
good.
official. So he shows up and he's got his sunglasses on. He's looking so fresh, and he's the only other guy besides Swag Jeff that can pull off a hat that just has his own logo on it. So the DA-17 logo that he's got is so badass, and it's even more trick when it's inside a shield, which is what he's got. He's got the black hat with the shield, and then it says DA-17, like freaking baller, dude.
Oh, that's
baller.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And and he did also mention in that interview that he goes, Derek and I working together each and every week, we knew it wasn't going to be like college as soon as I got here. We knew it wasn't going to be like that, and it was going to take time to work. It didn't take long. It didn't take long, man. But they're getting more in sync each and every week. Like, you look at these plays where Devante's doing all his things and he's cutting across the field, and Derek is like knowing the exact time to hit him and zing it in there.
It is so beautiful.
It's so
really
good,
is.
And he also talked about too how when Aaron Rodgers was throwing him the ball, he was a high point guy. He would go and
Right.
Aaron throw it up and he'd go high point. Well, now he's kind of waiting to the last second, almost like how Cliff Branch always would do it, and wait to the last possible second to like make that adjustment. Like, I mean, we're seeing these highlight reel catches from him that, yes, Devante Adams is Devante Adams, and he's always made plays like that, but we're seeing tons more of them. And that's, it's got to be because those guys are on the same page.
100%. That's a great call out, because I think that's one of the things that's about him that Michelle, that I didn't realize was such a part of his game. We knew that he was a great route runner, or if not the best route runner, him and Hunter, frankly. You know what I mean? Yeah. And we saw that on the one of the plays that went deep down the field. That little like lull to sleep that he does, where he almost like he's just kind of like jogging a little bit, and then he just freaking takes off and blows past the receiver, and the defender's doing this like where'd he go? And then it's just a chase at that point. Like, that is amazing. But my favorite part, like what Jeff said, I didn't realize that was part of his game. Like that late second adjustment where the ball, he's not even looking at the football, and he's getting held, and then all of a sudden he turns around and catches it one-handed.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never paid attention to that either, and but now seeing it is like, it's a beautiful thing to see, and it gets him every time. Like, you know it's coming, but it still leaves your shoes.
Yeah.
You can't. How do you defend that? So good.
So
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
And-
Well, when you look at all these like top-notch wide receivers that you have in the league. Well, on running plays, what are they doing? They're jogging up a little bit and they're half-ass blocking, whatever. Just because that's, those high-profile receivers, they're not going to get hurt on a block, so they're just going to kind of trot up there and, put your hands on the guy or whatever. Well, Devante Adams is kind of playing that role where he's going to, okay, jogging, boom, he's going. You know what I mean? Like, that is so badass. And that happened on that flea flicker play.
Oh, that flea
You know what I
flicker
mean?
was
Like,
so good.
did all that and then shook Asante Samuel out of his freaking shoes.
Yeah.
Like, it was so good.
That was the one I was talking about. Yeah, that was great. That was great. Good stuff there. So, all right. So, speaking of wide receivers, high profile. Old Keenan Allen had
barbecue chicken, man.
That's right. So he said, I don't have the exact quote here, I'll paraphrase, but it was like that the Raiders secondary was like barbecue chicken, and what did he say? That the Slayer was going to show up?
Something like
that.
He said anyone, if I meet anybody one-on-one, it ain't going to be nothing but barbecue chicken.
That's what it was.
Or whatever it was.
Yeah, because the Slayer's coming over or something like that. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, so I love this kind of stuff. So, of course, he's got to literally eat his words now.
Yep.
And you put out a great TikTok on it, Jeff. It was really funny.
You did.
But the Raiders post-game here, so this is Duron Harmon, this is Nate Hobbs, and this is Josh Jacobs, all responding to Keenan Allen's comment about them being like barbecue chicken.
Barbecue chicken. That's all I got to say.
That's all you have to say, right?
Barbecue chicken.
That's Nate.
Barbecue chicken, huh? All right.
That's
yeah,
Duron.
Barbecue chicken.
Was it something talked about?
Oh, without a doubt. Barbecue chicken. Barbecue chicken. Is that for dinner? Keenan, yeah, it's for dinner now. Yeah. But Keenan's a big player, one of the best receivers that play in this game. But at the end of the day, you got to respect the game. You got to respect your opponents. And, at that point, he didn't. But I have all the respect in the world for Keenan Allen. He made plays, been a Pro Bowler, all-pro receiver. So always fun competing against him because he brings the best out of you.
Nah, I was going today. It wasn't.
This is Josh.
It wasn't really a question for me today. It was, especially. Nah, I can't say that. Yeah. Chicken. Barbecue chicken. Baked chicken.
So good, man.
It's going to be a while before Keenan Allen eats barbecue chicken.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And it won't be till after he retires, long after he
Right,
retires,
yeah.
that Raider Nation will let him forget that.
People should start sending him, like if he's at a restaurant, just sending him a plate of barbecue chicken.
100%.
Absolutely.
And I will trust that there is a member of Raider Nation out there that will do that.
He'll be the next guy after Sean Merriman that gets trolled by Raider Nation
That's
literally
true, yeah.
every day of his life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, that was great, man. So, but I really like, from a fan's perspective, obviously that's going to light us up.
Yes.
But I love what Duron Harmon said in there, and when you take the silliness out of it or whatever, that idea, what Duron says there, that at the end of the day, we're all professionals and you got to respect your opponent. And that's what he didn't do. And you can talk smack, you can do all that kind of stuff, but when you disrespect the people that are on the other side of the ball, don't think that doesn't show up, because exactly especially a guy like Duron Harmon, who's got Super Bowl rings, that dude has busted his ass to get where he's at and to be one of the better ball hawking safeties, in today's NFL, and to get disrespected like that.
Absolutely. Well, so he made that. So Keenan Allen made that comment to the secondary. But Josh Jacobs is just as fired up.
Yeah.
He's not nowhere near that.
That's
so
true,
if there's any question too, if anything, this shows how tight knit this team is and how much they got each other's back.
Yeah.
Because Josh Jacobs, he has nothing to do with that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But he's fired up too. And I love how this team they're using these moments and these things as fuel. Because I feel like in years past, people have kind of talked some shit on the Raiders a little bit, and unfortunately we couldn't back it up.
Yeah.
But now I feel like there was probably a big old poster, the size of the fan cave that said barbecue chicken on it.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right,
In the locker room all week long. And it should.
Right.
And it's a culture thing, man. I love that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, next up. So speaking of that, and the cohesion that we're seeing with this Raiders team. They've granted us, we're a highly influential fan-created podcast around here.
Sure. Well, they heard all your good work at the MGM Sportsbook at the Gold Strike.
Thank you, Jeff. Right. And so we're granted access to the post game in the locker room. Of course, we can't be there physically, but they allow our microphones to be there. So shout out the Raiders. Much respect there for allowing us to come in and record this stuff. And so let's check in with the Raiders. This is just right at post game.
Let's go.
I feel great.
That's Harmon.
Hey, that's a good complimentary football game, right? All three phases contributed. All right, we didn't have it the way we wanted in the first quarter. Just keep plugging away, fellas. I can see the belief that you have in one another, and you can see it on the football field. I'm just telling you, it's real. Okay, it's real. So that's 3 in a row. All right, that's 3 in a row. And I have one thing to say. Where's Chandler Jones?
Yes.
There we go.
And now we got to keep it going. All right, that's the burden we have now. Let's do that for one another. The strain is obvious. Okay, the strain is obvious. We've figured out how we need to play and how we need to win, more importantly. All right, and that's our formula. All right, and that's our formula. We're going to keep going.
Hey, we off, but we ain't off tomorrow.
That's right.
We got to get another win on Thursday.
Stay at home tonight.
All right, hey, stay at home, get your body right, make sure you're ready to go tomorrow. Get in there with your positions, watch film, get ready for the next one. Okay? It'll be a crappy feeling on Thursday if we don't take care of business. All right? Let's go. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3. Win.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Derek is
about that business. Yeah.
Right? Talk about that, Michelle.
Yeah, that was hearing that. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, Derek he's not playing games this go round. He knows what's at stake, and he wants everyone else to know that he knows what's at stake. And I thought that was impressive.
That was solid. That
absolutely
another demonstration of his ability to lead in the locker room. And then of course we know what he can do on the field, Jeff. But yeah, great stuff there from Derek at the end.
Yeah,
tag that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, Derek, I loved what he said and stuff like that, and I like what McDaniels is saying. You know what I mean? It's like we're going to be a broken record talking about this stuff, but like when you look at the beginning of the season on how those post gamers went and stuff like that, and the body language. I mean, even Derek. I gave Derek a lot of shit. A month ago or whatever when McDaniels comes and says his thing, whatever, and then after it, he didn't tag it with anything. He just goes 1, 2, 3, win. Or whatever.
Yeah.
Like now, like he's like, all right, guys, this is what we got to do. Short week. It's gonna feel like crap if we lose on Thursday. It's victory week, but we could have a loss if we don't get our bodies right and our minds right and stuff like that. So it's awesome. But I love what Josh McDaniels said too there about complimentary football, because it really was a true testament of complimentary football. And I want to give respect, because that's maybe the only side of the game that we haven't given, the kickoff team. The kickoff team, man. So normally you see us just booming them out of the end zone, right?
Right.
Touchback. Well, so who is it, AJ Cole that kicks, or Carlson?
Carlson. Yeah.
So Carlson was putting them on like the 1 yard line. Every kickoff, man. So every kickoff. So they're having to return those things, and so every yard counts in the NFL. So, when they're starting to drive on the 18 or 19 as opposed to the 25, that's freaking huge,
Yeah, because you got Luke Masterson going down there making tackles.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I think the thing that's cool is, speaking of like the locker room, thinking about how last season ended, their locker room was connected, but they were kind of connected through like toxic, emotional, like we got to jail. I think we'll end this season with like a connected room, but not without all of that baggage. Like I think they'll go into the next season like with seeing these. You can see that they're all connecting in a healthy, like, let's win, just win, baby kind of way, not a we gotta win for each other, kind of
that's
thing.
That's a fantastic point.
It really is, and what's interesting, Michelle, about making that point is that I love it because it draws a contrast to you can unite over external factors,
right,
or you can unite over they're responsible for their turnaround.
Right.
It's not these external negative things that
are kind
brought
of
them
pushing
together.
Everyone along.
That's really great point.
Yeah, I love that. But yeah, because like you said, last year we had to come together, right? They didn't have a choice, so they gelled over that, their loss that they had over the season,
right?
And rallying for your interim coach and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's something that can really only happen in a season.
In that
season. That season. So so maybe shame on us for thinking that all those pieces were there. yeah, well, there were so many different factors to take into consideration.
There's no longevity in that.
Yeah, we're building this thing now, and we could have this gel for years and years and years to come.
Yeah,
that's good.
That's great call, Michelle. I love that. Oh, it's my turn.
Gotcha.
This is Raiders Fan Radio. I'm Brent Musburger, and I don't care who wins as long as it's the Raiders.
All right. Right there?
Yeah, you're there.
Oh, there we go. Sorry. All right. Appreciate everybody that's joining us live in the chat room tonight. RaidersFanRadio.com/RaidersFanRadio. No, YouTube.com/RaidersFanRadio. Appreciate everybody that's there in the chat. Gosh, I don't know why.
RaidersFanRadio.com/RaidersFanRadio/RaidersFanRadio.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Something happened to your microphone.
I can hear me.
You can hear you?
I can hear him, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't hear you. Okay, that's all right.
You don't need to hear me anyway.
Okay. Huh?
What?
So I appreciate you, everybody that's joining us live tonight in the chat room. Oh, it's because I had there we go.
Because you muted me?
There we go. Now I got it back
Oh
on.
my
Shoot, I got a
gosh.
button over there. Yeah, I know, right? I need that one for sure.
Nice,
So, I
nice.
appreciate everybody that is on the YouTubes joining us for this pre-recorded version of Raiders Fan Radio, when we will see you tomorrow night for the Sea of Fans show. All right, next up, let's jump into what the media had to say about this game. But before we get to the reaction to it,
sure,
let's go to the immediacy of it. And let's check in back once again with our buddy Horowitz, who is doing the play-by-play. And, of course, Lincoln Kennedy. Last week when we had these two guys on, I mentioned how Lincoln Kennedy went up a register, right? He almost gets there again.
Okay.
And this is on the flea flicker play, which was I love that these flea flickers are now 2 for 2 as of recency. But let's check into the call on this. This is a great call by Horowitz and Lincoln Kennedy.
Josh Jacobs, 74 yards on 13 carries, and he gets it again. Pitches it back to Derek Carr. Looking downfield for Devante Adams. In stride at the 5. Touchdown Raiders!
And that's even more glorious.
Again.
That's even more glorious. When you can throw a flea flicker in there, catch the defense completely off guard, and Devante Adams runs behind the Chargers defense.
2 Derek Carr throws here in the third quarter, and both have been long touchdowns to Devante Adams.
I just love it how fired up those guys are after that. Nice. The flea flicker!
Oh man, that was an exciting call. It goes back a little bit to what we were talking about a few minutes ago. Like, give us something to root for. Give us something to be excited about. And when they can pull off Josh got a lot of heat from Raider Nation about all these little cute plays and all that kind of stuff. And they would say things like, well, it's just about execution. And it felt like at the time it was dismissive. It felt like it was arrogant. It felt like, well, hey, maybe your stuff isn't working, dude. Maybe you need to do something different. Well, maybe they didn't. Maybe what they were actually saying is that, like, look, we can see these things work in practice. We just need to execute them better. And now with the offensive line, Michelle, doing what it's doing, and it can hold up, and Josh Jacobs is playing the way that he is, it will actually draw in those defenders, and then the plays are working.
Yeah, it really does feel like it was more execution than it was anything. And I guess just a discomfort in the plays that, were being called. But yeah, it's so sweet to see them work, and not like seeing it happen and go, what the was that? Like, why did they do that? And then you get mad because you think it's McDaniels, and it really was probably more of an execution, maybe a little bit of both. But yeah, it's really cool seeing those land. Also, too, shout out to the crowd. I know the Chargers only have like 4 fans, but that whole game I kept noticing that the crowd was really, really loud, more than you would think, because now everybody thinks it's like half and half. But like I said, I know there's only like 4 Chargers fans there, but the crowd was really.
Yeah.
And I know you see those plays, so you're going to be like hype.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Yeah, I just noticed the crowd was really, really into it. And that
Yeah,
was really
well,
cool.
go figure. When we start winning football games,
yeah.
the crowd will come.
That's right.
They'll stop selling their tickets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, I've seen people, so I'm a part of several different Raider merchandise, buy, sell, trade
Of
things
course
on
you are.
Facebook and stuff like that. Yeah, that's where I get most of my stuff. But, you know, I've seen a bunch of people going, hey, I sold my tickets, but I kind of want to go to the Patriots game now.
Oh.
Is anyone selling you know, like, well, what do you got? You know, show me what you got. So, you know, yeah, the people that sold off their tickets after the Titans game, they want back in, you know? So come on.
Absolutely. Come on back in. It's nice. And speaking of the Patriots game, I want to go on a little bit of a tangent here. So this is the Patriots game is the weekend we're going to be in Vegas for the Blitnikoff Foundation dinner. And, you know, there's some of us are going to the game. And the freaking NFL flexed out of the Sunday night game for a
shitty game.
For the Commanders and the Giants. Like, hello, Sunday night NFC East once again. Like
Daniel Jones versus Taylor Heineke. Like, oh, good. Perfect matchup. Way to go, NFL.
Like what?
Ratings to the roof.
Yeah.
Right? Like, isn't it so much more compelling? Not only the idea that the Raiders are on this resurgent, path, especially after we beat the Rams this week. So that will put us right on the precipice of we could win that game and be 500 on the year. And after where we started, that's pretty compelling. The Patriots are still the freaking Patriots, so they're going to be compelling no matter what, as long as Bill Belichick is their head coach. And, there's this whole dynamic between Josh and Bill that, like, to me, like, which is probably the reason that it got put in Sunday night to begin with. Like, how is that not more compelling? You've got East Coast, West Coast rivals. You've got all the story with the Tuck rule and everything else. Like, that's way more interesting of a story to me than a freaking divisional matchup between two, like, okay teams. Like, I don't get that at all.
Right.
So, NFL, you can
kiss my ass.
Suck it.
Thank you. All right. Next up, let's check in with a good friend of the show, someone that we love to always feature around here when he's got something to talk about. We're football nerds and we love our Raiders, but I'm not a film guy. Like, I don't know much. I can't break down film the way that so many great people can, like our good friend Ted Wynn can. But in this case, it's Brian Baldinger. He does all these breakdowns, and I love these because they're not only like breaking down film can be kind of boring, you know?
Yeah.
So the way that he presents it and the way that he talks about the Raiders and all, I just love it. So let's go ahead and check in first with Baldy breaking down Max Crosby.
I'm telling you, Raider fans, this is what pass rush looks like. You got Crosby coming off the edge, flailing.
Is he driving?
Grabbing. Jerry
He's on an airplane.
Oh, is he?
And Herbie's running, and who is that guy? Chandler Jones? Chandler Jones, not more than just a sighting. This is what they've been waiting for right here. Who's this guy in the middle right here? How about that move? How about this win? The swim, that's Jerry Tillery, the former Charger. Here's Max from one side, Tillery up the middle, and when he escapes, down goes the ball. These third down stops, it was one after another. It was Max, it was Tillery. Look at the takeoff. Look at them. They're on the edges where they're supposed to be. They're grabbing Max by the throat. He don't care. They're chasing Herbie. He's throwing that ball up into the end zone right there. It's being defended. This looks like a different Raider team to me. Who are these people? 4th and 2. 4th and 2 Raider. Chargers trying to mount a score here. Hang on to the ball. Here comes that pass rush again. Max spinning. Here, look at this. Nichols coming up the middle. Herbie trying to run. There's Chandler Jones laying out. I mean, Al Davis's flame is alive and well inside Allegiant Stadium. That's a stop. That's a turnover. Look at the Raiders. Look at them. They're sprinting off the field. This is just first half. Let's look at these guys here. Look at Chandler Jones and watch this pass rush. They get this going from the other side of Max. Look at him. Drive the inside shoulder right here. Collapse the pocket. Hello, Justin Herbert. How are you? My name is Chandler Jones. I play in your division. This is what the Raider fans have been waiting for. This is holy hell. 7 up at the line of scrimmage. Who's coming? Who's dropping? Max Crosby dropping? Okay. What's Chandler Jones doing? Here he's coming around the corner. He missed his 4th sack in the first half right there. That's all right. Polamalu got it right there. Here we go. This is what the Raiders should be doing. Look at this. Affecting the quarterback. Making it tough. This was awesome football. Raiders have won 3 in a row. They play football like this, they can beat any single team in the NFL. And it's fun to watch. It's showtime.
Let's go.
Let's go, dude.
It's so good.
Yep.
I mean, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Good stuff there from Baldy's breakdown on that defensive line. Yeah, we talked about top of the show. Those guys are I love it how he's like, they're setting up holy hell at the line of scrimmage. That's awesome. We should put that on a t-shirt. All right, next up, let's check in with Baldy as he breaks down the flea flicker. And he's focusing on Devante Adams in this, which is great.
On that great shield of the Raiders, the iconic shield, Derek Carr hands off to the league's leading rusher. Over 1,300 yards, and he gets the attention of Derwin James and all Drew Tranquil and the whole Charger team. Derek Carr acts pretty nonchalant, and he flips it to Devante Adams, having one of the great years in his career. Strike up the band, pick up the hymnals. This game is over, and the crowd goes wild. Well, let's watch what Devante did, because not only do they have the league's best running back, they might also have the league's best route runner and the best receiver. Watch this jog off the line. The jog off the line, because he's got to time up with the throwback. So jog off the line, now explode. Now get the attention of the safety. Now, get him going left. See, the safety's running left right here. Now go across the field to an open patch of grass and let Derek Carr just flip it. Like his days back at Fresno. This is good. This is fun. This is what the crowd has been waiting for. And the Raiders are beginning to stack W's, and these two players are the biggest reason why.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Absolutely. Good stuff there from Baldy on the flea flicker. And I've got one more to play for you, and then we're going to jump into some stats. Let's go ahead and check in, last but not least, with Baldy just talking about Josh Jacobs exclusively.
If I was Derek Carr and I came up and I saw this box of the Chargers, I'd run right at the Chargers. Oh, they do. They run right at him. They pierce him. They split him and hit him. And nobody brought down Josh Jacobs one-on-one the entire night. Like, watch him lift these guys out. Like, watch this rookie, Dylan Parham. Like, that right there looks like something that you would see in the Colosseum in Rome, the way he just lifted him out. Look at Josh Jacobs running through tackles. Like, the power. Like, this looks like the best back in football. That's what he looks like. The best back in football. Let's toss it. Let's see what happens. Sometimes the fullback whiffs. Okay? It happens. And what are you going to do about it? Because everybody else, Hollins, Colton Miller, Parham, James, they all got their blocks. Oh, what did you make a miss? Like, how did he just do that then? Is he going out of bounds? No. Let's just take a little bit of blood with him. All right, here we go. I formation, draw, ISO lead. That's the play. Let's just get up on the linebacker. Bam. Look at these fits. Look at these fits. Now, here comes, who's coming after him? Derwin? Nope. Touchdown. Here we go. Like, this is just great football. This is just great football. Like, look at this. Look at this combo block here. Look at James come off and pick off Tranquil. Now, here we go. Cut back. There's Derwin on his back, just taking him for a ride. Like, look at them. Just running through it. Contact runner, right? Call it contact balance. Look at this. This is beautiful stuff.
All right, there he is. So good stuff there from Brian Baldinger. Beautiful. I love it how he's talks a lot about the offensive line, creating those holes. Talks about him carrying guys with him, carrying Derwin James on his back. And at one point he goes, who's coming next? You know what I mean? Like, he's just taking on all comers. And so here's the significance of what Josh Jacobs is doing. And not only can we not appreciate him enough right now as fans, I want to say this. Why are we not talking MVP now at this point? And I know that MVP is typically going to get awarded to a quarterback, but there's no quarterback in the league that's playing that great this year where they're a completely lights out candidate. We're not seeing it Mahomes. We're not seeing it Josh Allen. It definitely ain't Aaron Rodgers. It definitely ain't Tom Brady. Like, so you know what I mean? So I would say that, like, at some point, Josh Jacobs has got to be in the conversation with considering what he's doing. And so here's examples, some of the stats. So games when Raiders have had two players gain 150 plus yards from the line of scrimmage. Was this last Sunday was the most recent, and it was Devante Adams and Josh Jacobs. We've also had Napoleon Kaufman and Tim Brown do it, Marcus Allen and Jesse Hester, Clem Daniels and Larry Todd, Clem Daniels and Art Powell, and then Clem Daniels and Art Powell again. But most scrimmage yards this season in the NFL, Josh Jacobs leads with 1,634. Next closest is Tyreek Hill with 1,400 yards. Josh Jacobs has 1,300 yards rushing, 10 touchdown runs, and averaging 5.3 yards a carry. The only other players in NFL history to hit those numbers through 12 games. You guys ready for this? Walter Payton did it in 1977. O.J. Simpson did it in 1973. And there's only one other guy on the list, and he did it 3 times, and that's Jim Brown in 65, 63, and 58. That's the company that Josh Jacobs, I'm getting chills again.
Yeah.
That's the company this young man is in right now. We're not talking about Raider greats. We're talking about when you're in a company with Jim freaking Brown and Walter Payton.
The greatest running backs of all time.
All time. And I know, people want to set aside OJ, but Juice was freaking, and he was the man back in that day. Like, so when you're in that kind of conversation, that's bananas. Yeah. So most games in Raider history with 140 plus yards and 1 plus touchdown run, Josh Jacobs has 5 this year. The only others to come close, Napoleon Kaufman did 4. Bo's got 3. Marcus has got 3. McFadden's got 3. Clem Daniels and Michael Bush each have 2. So Josh Jacobs has now set himself ahead in some categories of Napoleon Kaufman, Bo Jackson, and Marcus Allen. The 3 best running backs our team has ever had. Yep. That's not named Pete Banaszak. The only players to rush for 140 plus yards and 1 touchdown in 5 plus games in the first 12 games in NFL history. Jim Brown had 6 twice. Josh Jacobs has got 5 right now. Peyton had 5 in 77. The only other 2 to even show up on the scoreboard, Terrell Davis and Sean Alexander. Yeah. Like,
that's unreal.
It's crazy, right?
It's unreal.
Here's a few more for you, and then we're gonna jump in this last segment. Josh Jacobs, 5 games, 140 plus yards and rushing touchdown this season. No one else has more than 2. The most ever in a season is 7, who Adrian Peterson did that in 2012. So a couple more games for Josh to do that. He's going to take out Adrian Peterson. Josh Jacobs, the 19th player in Super Bowl era with 1,300 yards, 10 plus touchdowns through 12 games. Devante Adams is the 3rd player with 1,100 plus yards receiving and 10 plus touchdown catches through 12 games. The Raiders joined the 2000 Colts, which is Edgerrin James and Marvin Harrison, as the only teams in the Super Bowl era to have both.
Oh, wow.
Like, it's bananas what these guys, and I've got a ton more, but I'm going to save them for tomorrow night.
Yeah.
But absolutely, I mean, just completely freaking trend setting, not only for the Raiders, but in NFL history. Some of the company that Josh Jacobs is keeping right now is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I don't think it's far-fetched to say that we might have a 2,000-yard runner.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean?
In a 17-game season.
It's extremely possible right now. What, he needs 600 whatever yards?
Yeah. And we've got, what? We were 5 and 7 through 12 games, so we've got, 5 games left?
5,
yeah. So 5 games, so he'd have to just get over a little over 100 yards a game.
Yep.
To get.
How do we keep him a Raider? That's that's
yeah. Let's talk.
I am so glad you asked that question, Michelle.
Let's talk about that.
What a segue.
It's
Patrick Claybaum with NFL Network here. Hey, folks, I know 3 things you might like. Do you like football? Do you like the Las Vegas Raiders? Do you like listening to things? I'll add a 4th. Do you like swag? Well, here we got Swag Jeff, Murf, Uncle Mosh. This is Raiders Fan Radio.
Hello, boys and girls. Thanks for joining me here today as your old Uncle Mosh takes us to class. Most of you have heard the phrases Hail Mary, shotgun, or onside kick, but have you ever wondered what the heck a Mike, Sam, or Will linebacker did? Do the phrases run and shoot, bull rush, and nickel dime packages make you want to go pooch punt the Wildcat? Well, you're in luck. My little nephew Murf has a new flea flicker of a segment called Murf Fundamentals, where I ask him a question and he tries to teach this old dog some new tricks.
All right, so here's what we're going to talk about: how the Raiders are going to keep Josh Jacobs, of course. So there's a couple of different ways, and what reason I wanted to do more fundamentals tonight is because we're going to talk about the franchise tag and we're going to talk about the transition tag. This came up on.
Heard of the transition tag.
I was just going to say that. I don't
Really?
know what that is.
Okay,
Don't even know what that is.
So that came up this week on Twitter from Josh DeBow. He put out a tweet talking about the 2 different versions of the franchise tag. There's an exclusive rights and then there's a non-exclusive. And not to call Josh out, but it's fun to call Josh out when he's wrong. But he described that the difference between those is what we're getting ready to talk about here. But it's not. It's actually the difference between the exclusive tag and the franchise tag, and then the transition tag. So we're going to talk about the difference in these things. So in the franchise tag, so the Raiders could tag Josh Jacobs twice, and his franchise tag number per the over the cap folks, it's going to be about $12 million, which is, I think, a very fair number for Josh Jacobs. If they use the transition tag on Josh Jacobs, it's only about $10 million. So you save money by transition tagging a player versus franchise tag. But what is the difference, right? There's a reason that it's cheaper, okay? So here's what it is. The franchise tag is a designation that allows NFL teams to select one player to be an unrestricted free agent and guarantees another year under contract if certain conditions are met. Each team receives one franchise tag per year and can be applied as either exclusive or non-exclusive, okay? So what is the difference between exclusive and non-exclusive? Exclusive, you got to offer the player a one-year deal, no less than the average of the top 5 salaries at any position, okay, based on April of that year, or you can pay the player 120% of their previous year's salary, whichever one is more. Well, in this case, when you're talking about a rookie contract, it's not very much money, so 120% of whatever he's making right now is not going to be near the average of the top 5 players at their position at running back, okay? So Zeke Elliott and whoever else is the highest paid ones. A non-exclusive version of the franchise tag, you have to offer the player that one-year contract no less than the average of the top 5 cap hits of that player's positions, or 120% of previous year's salary. Okay, so then you're taking into account the cap hit. So that's taking into account like sign-on money, all that kind of stuff, okay? How do exclusive and non-exclusive tags differ? This is the ultimate question. The two biggest differences between an exclusive and non-exclusive is a franchise tag is an incorporation of salary versus cap hit and who holds more negotiating power. A cap hit is similar to salary, but it takes into account all expenses that go towards a team total salary cap, such as signing bonuses. So when we talk about like dead money and like that kind of stuff, that's what that number is. That's that dead cap money. That's ultimately what affects your overall salary cap. The rest of the stuff is fluff. That's why you can sign a guy, you can give him $20 million up front on the first year of his contract, and in year 4, he might be making $50 million on the books, but it never matters because you're never going to get that far in the deal. He's getting his money up front. That's that guaranteed money that players are always shooting for. So like in the Deshaun Watson contract, when he's got a fully guaranteed contract, that means he's getting every single penny guaranteed to him, and it's going to come in the version of these signing bonuses and whatnot. But anyways, but the collective of that money is the dead cap money, and that's what this cap hit is talking about in here, okay? So additionally, each tag comes with different bargaining rights and guaranteed assets for both the player and the team. Aptly named, the exclusive tag gives the team exclusive negotiating rights. So no one else can come in and talk to Josh Jacobs. It's done deal. $12 million. He's ours for year 5. Should the player reject the offer, they are unable to sign with another NFL team for the entire season. That means he can't just say no and go play somewhere else. So if he wants to play in the NFL, he's got to be a Raider, okay? Meanwhile, the non-exclusive tag allows players to negotiate with other teams. If they receive an offer, their current team, so the Raiders in this case, have the opportunity to match that offer. So if he gets a $15 million a year offer from the Buffalo Bills, all right, then the Raiders have a chance to match that and to keep him there in Las Vegas. If they choose not to match the offer, the Raiders will get 2 first-round draft picks in exchange. So basically it forces the other team to trade for the guy. Okay, so it forces a trade. So the Raiders can make out pretty good on either one of those, exclusive or non-exclusive, okay? But you're going to lose Josh Jacobs. Yeah, you get 2 first-round picks, but you're losing Josh Jacobs.
Sure.
So you got to decide, is that worth it, okay? Then the last thing is this transition tag, okay? So you could transition tag him for $10 million. They're similar to franchise tags, but they have 2 exceptions. Rather than the top 5, the transition tags use the average of the top 10 highest players at a position, and that doesn't provide any guaranteed compensation. Unlike the franchise tag, teams are given a promise of an asset at the end of the deal. If a team refuses to match the competing team's offer and they lose the player, they do not receive any draft picks in exchange. Okay, so basically the transition tag is the exclusive tag, the franchise tag, without the benefit of getting something in return should the guy not sign. So this is a long ass way for me to tell you $12 million is probably what the Raiders are going to do because you're not going to risk losing him for $2 million.
Exactly.
You're not going to risk not getting the deal done for $2 million. Now, if we were under some crazy salary cap condition and it was super tight, and if Josh Jacobs wasn't Josh freaking Jacobs, then you might consider using the transition tag because, like, well, maybe we can get him and he'll want to stick around for that year and we can save a couple $1 million. But that's not what the Raiders story is right now. And the salary cap goes up every single year. So we're going to have plenty of room for this guy. And if they use the use the non-exclusive, then, you know, there's a chance to get a couple picks back for him, you know,
Sure.
But I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think that's the case.
Gonna happen.
No, I don't think so.
All right, Raider Nation, we appreciate you joining us live here tonight for this episode of, or not live, whatever. Appreciate everybody that's in the chat room tonight. Appreciate you joining us for this episode of Raiders Fan Radio, episode number 274 of Raiders Fan Radio, and appreciate everybody that's listening in tonight. But thank you to my two co-hosts, Michelle and Jeff. Appreciate y'all very much. Michelle, thank you for being here.
Yeah, man, listen, let's get this win on Thursday. That's all I want.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's get it done. Hey, thanks everyone. Like Murph said, thanks for everyone that watched this. We don't know who you are, but we love you. We kind of got a good idea who you are because you're here each and every week. Yeah, there you go. But thanks everyone for tuning in for another episode 274 of Raiders Fan Radio, where we take a lighter side journey into the dark side. Don't forget, boys and girls, what happens in Vegas, you know it started in Oakland. We love you.
Let's go.
Hey, we'll see you here tomorrow for 275. Well, you won't see me and you won't see Michelle. But you can see this jackass.
That's right.
There he is.
Hey. I resemble that remark.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. And then they'll get to watch you on Thursday.
That's right.
On Silver and Black Today. Dude.
Oh.
That was really good, by the way.
Man,
Yeah.
wow. That was like a Mary-Kate and Ashley moment. Nice. Nice.
Yeah, more of other people
More of
and less
Murph
of me
and
is a
less
good
of
thing.
us,
No,
I
it's
guess,
not
is a good thing.
yeah.
Because you're going to get them 3 times this week.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Murph overload.
Right?
Yeah, there you go.
Sheesh, yeah, enough of me. Wait till they get a load of me.
We love you, Raider Nation.
Get on YouTube.
Good night. Y'all come back now, you
That's
hear?
right.
Thursday night football. I'm stoked for that.
Oh, me too.
Well, yeah. Raiders by 50.
Damn right.
Better be.
Yeah, better be.
That goofy ass stadium.
Goodbye.